What's up, guys? Well, after a long white knuckle drive down a snowy mountain road this morning, I got this stone home and I figured out how to get it to chest height and how to carry it. I kind of knew in the back of my mind this was going to be the way to do it. The way I had it sitting before, it's just too wide. I couldn't get my arms around it, but leveraging it on my leg like that worked out fine. And that leads me on to the main thing I wanted to talk about today. One thing I've learned over this last year lifting natural stones is that every stone has a most efficient way to lift it. And for every different lift that you do, whether it be to shoulder or to chest height or cleaning it to press it, every different lift has a most efficient way to lift it. Now, usually lifting the stone from the ground, it's kind of the same no matter what, but where you go from there, it might be different. And in my mind, at least, the end goal with every natural stone is to get it to the shoulder. I just don't think there's anything cooler than that. And this stone I have here today, I'm calling it the Grizzly stone, there's no way that I could get that to my shoulder right now. It's too heavy, I'm just not strong enough yet. So how do you get there? What's the fastest way to get strong enough and to become skilled enough to get that stone to your shoulder? Well, this is the main thing that I've learned. Sometimes a straight line isn't the fastest route. There's a couple examples I want to mention. First off, I was a guitar player for a long time, and there were those days that I wanted to get better. I knew I wanted to become more skilled, but I wasn't really sure what to do. So I would just pick 6 random notes, and make them into a difficult pattern, and I would just practice that pattern over and over. I knew that in the long run, getting better at that pattern was going to make me better and eventually lead to me being able to play more complicated things. Another example that might seem a little more familiar to a lot of you is take the game Elden Ring, for example. That's an open world video game, and you know that the end goal is to make it to the final boss and beat the game. Well, at some points during that game, you don't really know what to do, so you just ride around. You know that, well, this might not be the most enjoyable thing, it's not the most entertaining, it's not as cinematic as fighting the bosses, just riding around in the open world. But you know that by riding around and discovering new places, eventually that's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you get strong enough to eventually fight that final boss. Well, this same thing, these same concepts can be applied to natural stone lifting. So you can't shoulder the stone yet. So you can't fight the final boss yet. You can't play the most difficult classical piece ever on your guitar. What can you do? You can arrange some notes. You can find something difficult to do and get better at that. So what did I do over these last few days with this new stone? Well, I couldn't even get it to chest height yet, let alone get it to my shoulder, but there was something I could do. I could pick it up, get it to my lap, and kind of shimmy it up to a standing position. Now, this isn't as romantic as, picking it up and running around with it or tossing it above my head, but this was something that I could practice that I knew in the long run was going to lead to me getting strong enough to eventually being able to shoulder it. And as you see today, only after a few days, I was already able to get it up to chest height and carry it. So it's these little steps that will eventually lead to the final goal. And it's all you can really do. So see you guys tomorrow.